I just wanna be, never say I can. Not calling anyone else. Not falling into a rain. Just let you think I would do. I just wanna spend some time with myself. I'm not texting anyone else. I'm not falling for someone else. Yes, I come back, time to push it back. Yes, I come back, time to push it back.
Hi. Are you serious that no one complained about the wait time? That seems not true. That seems impossible. Impossible. I forgot that I wiped off some makeup under this eye, so it looks like I have pink eye. Or like, and then, I don't know. Or maybe you can't tell at all and I shouldn't have pointed it out. Oops. Hi. Oh, geez. It's been a minute since I've been here. I guess I'm out of practice on what I should say and not say. Oops. What will V be wearing today? This slutty black dress. Of course, I live for this slutty black dress. I love it. Prince Tommy. Prince Tommy, my thighs are getting smaller and smaller. I apologize. I wish I was getting bigger and bigger, but I'm smaller and smaller. Yes, Happy New Year. It's always nice to be back here. It is always nice to be back here in a comfy space where you know that you really belong. Hey, sir. Hello, goat. Goats and dolphins do not sound dissimilar. Listen to this. Goat. Dolphin. Sorry. I had a really crazy holiday season. I hope that. Oh, you know what? Oh my gosh, I'm so out of practice doing my makeup. Oh my god. Okay, hold on. I'm so sorry. I need to fix it. I also forgot to put on my extra blush. I'm not doing a stream without my extra blush. I put on blush. You need extra blush. Okay. I made my tiny, imperceptible adjustments, and now I feel much better about sitting here and entertaining you. Thank you so much for the subscriptions already. Oh, crazy! Yay! Okay, so there was stage 1 plus. That was 41 minutes ago, like before I even started the stream. Thank you. Captain Happa, thank you. Hazer, thank you. Crazy Maniac, thank you. Boomin', it's your first time. But Jason the Kid, you've been here 18 months. You're not a kid anymore, you're a man. No, now don't do that. Please, Brandon, thank you for that. But don't do, I always forget to turn off the, actually, no, wait, yeah, give me a hype train. I deserve a hype train. You guys, give me the hype train. Hand it over. She needs it. She deserves it. Give her the hype. Because I need to tell you about my incredibly hype holidays. Or I guess we should also talk about your incredibly hype holidays. You can tell me all about your thoughts and feelings. What did Santa leave under the tree for you? Did you rewatch How the Grinch Stole Christmas with Jim Carrey? And is it iced coffee? No, it's actually hot tea. The mug really insulates it, and the volume of the whole liter of tea, the thermodynamics of that is just right for me, you know? Just right. What are your New Year's resolutions? I have so many. Number 1, work on my agoraphobia. So I thought agoraphobia was people who are just like afraid to leave their houses. You hear agoraphobia and you're like, oh, like those sad people who can't leave their houses. No, we're not describing Twitch streamers. We're describing people with a very severe debilitating mental illness called agoraphobia. There's overlap, but we're talking about 2 different things. I think about the thermodynamics every time I have a hot beverage too. I usually didn't, but I had 8 trillion people comment on, isn't your tea cold yet? And I had to be like, it's not. And then they're like, you need to explain how that's possible. And here we are, thermodynamics. Everyone who's watched my stream knows that I have my entire life suffered from terrible, debilitating motion sickness. I get motion sick like it's nobody's fucking business. What I didn't realize is that the motion sickness was probably just the agoraphobia. I just really hate the idea that like anyone else is in charge of me or my body or what I'm doing or where I'm going, and that sensation of being trapped and at the mercy of somebody else is agoraphobia. People who are agoraphobic are afraid of being trapped in enclosed spaces or finding themselves trapped in wide open spaces where there's no place for safety. People who are agoraphobic often feel anxiety on public transit. That was the big, I was like, wait, what? I had never heard of the correlation between agoraphobia and public transit. And I was like, yeah, I can't get on a bus. Get so motion sick so immediately. And the motion sickness wasn't a disconnect between my senses. The motion sickness was the hyper awareness of I'm here on this bus, but also at any point, somebody on this bus could decide to attack or destroy or freak out. Who knows what could happen? It just kept me off buses. It's always kept me off buses. And even getting on planes, I'd be like, oh my God. The idea of being stuck in this plane. I don't have claustrophobia. I don't feel uncomfortable in small spaces at all. I actually really like claustrophobia. I have claustrophilia, I would even say. I love small spaces. I feel so cozy. Yeah, my first bedroom, when I moved into the house that I had with my friends in university, I had the smallest bedroom because I think we drew lots and then we might have adjusted a little bit because the top part of the house was a master bedroom with an ensuite. And so we're like, well, 2 girls are going to sleep up there and share the room, which was doctor friend and international friend. We were told later, years later, by their parents that both their parents assumed that their daughters were gay and that this was their gay lover. And that's why they were sharing a room. And it was like, no, it was just practical and we all wanted to live together. I think it's so funny. Dr. Friend is pansexual, bisexual. I believe she's attracted to men and women equally, even though she's married with a husband and has 2 kids. And international friend is straight. Yeah, she likes boys. Yeah. Hi, puppy. Oh, you brought me your toy. We're playing fetch. Your legs look divine in this dress. Baby, you know what they're gonna look out of it, too. Can you have claustrophobia and agoraphobia at the same time? You can do whatever you want, baby. I'm not here to judge you. Oh, Costas says, or on the bus, somebody could fart next to you. I hate stinky people on public transit. My God, I hadn't even considered that. I hadn't even considered the offensive, odorous nature of some people. Not just the offensive verbal nature of people, or the physical nature of people, but the odorous. Oh God. I was too worried about the auditory. I should have been worried about the odorous. Agoraphobia isn't necessarily limited to open spaces. It is a fear or an intense anxiety of being in spaces that are not known to be safe. And if you were a woman in today's world, well, that's literally everywhere. It's hard. Yes, it was also difficult for me to read the agoraphobia definition and be like, no offense, WebMD or whatever I was looking at, but I am in danger every single time I step out of my house. Yeah, abso-frickin-tootly, abso-reeny. What? Yeah, for sure. Why not? All of us are. It's not just a me thing. It's a you thing too. Thank you for telling me about flossing sticks last month. It's much better than regular floss BS. Oh, I'm so happy. And it's difficult because you recognize I'm doing a bad thing by creating more pollution. But the reality is, I really do need my teeth. And I need all of you to have your teeth as well. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to give you one more reason to be afraid. It's okay. I feel like maybe talking about all of the reasons to be afraid in this setting where none of us have any reason to fear or any feeling of unsafety, this is the perfect time to bring up those things. Absolutely. Bring them up now. Let us become accustomed to them in our minds so that when they happen in real life, we're not blindsided. No one deserves to be blindsided. V to B. I'm a V too, but I'm like a VVV. Yeah. I'm also wearing adorable little heels today. That's right. You want to take me to prom. I really need all of you guys to keep all your teeth because I will be collecting them from your corpses later for voodoo ceremonies on your ancestors. I know that none of you fuckers have any money. Look at the goddamn stream. Barely anybody gifting because you're all trying to create grandchildren in your own fist. No. I'm gonna get your teeth. I'm gonna clone you. I'm gonna raise you right like your parents never did. Those people are gonna pay me. Keep your teeth, fuckers. Keep your teeth. I need that DNA. I hear the inappropriate, unhinged shit that comes out of my mouth, and I too am worried. I too am afraid. I too fear what I've created. No, this dress is one of the, like, bring him to the tavern in the cavern on the green. Aw, so fun. Like in Futurama. Don't threaten me with a good time. I would love to be your mommy. Would love to be your mommy. I'd be a great mommy. I imagine that you would walk out. You would be wearing awful clothes. You've cut your own hair, and you've drawn a dragon tattoo on your arm with permanent marker. And I'm like, oh, you look amazing. So many choices that you've made that I see. I see those choices. The purpose and the perspective. Wow. And we're wearing that to grandma's. Whee! Let's take pictures. Okay, so agoraphobia. I hate being anywhere by myself. Agora means market in Greek. You guys, I need to start telling you about Greek people. I have such good stories for you. Agoraphobia because the markets are full of people. Yes, the agora was the place. It wasn't just the market. It was also the political arena. And it was where weddings would spill out into. The agora was so much more, it was seen as the center of life in the quote-unquote world to them, essentially. And so agoraphobia is fear of embracing life, and I don't want to be rude, I'm not here to diagnose any of you guys, but do you think that you go out into the market of the world, into the battlefields of the world? Do you sell your wares? Are you spinning your story? Like, a lot of us are afraid of engaging with the world. A lot of us have this lingering anxiety that makes us feel disconnected or dissociated. And that's why I'm like, oh, I don't think it's a problem that I recognize that I have this, because it's not like I discovered agoraphobia inside of myself. Billions of humans who have lived on this planet have had that. I don't have agoraphobia, says Carpe Noctem. But I hate going places with lots of people. I don't do well with crowds. You might actually have agoraphobia. That's one of the symptoms of agoraphobia, is avoiding places with crowds and being uncomfortable in crowds. Someone call a plumber, says this person in chat. Because this house is over flooding with high volumes of cutie pie. Shouldn't we call a baker? Too many cutie pies? So this gigantic cutie pie. Oh, Lilfy says, I don't like closed spaces. That's another type of agoraphobia. Absolutely. Being trapped, being held in place. Oh my god. Hello, welcome to every Saw movie. Yes, that's a natural fear, but then when that fear translates into like, oh, well, I can't go into that corner store because it's too small. It's like, well, you literally deserve to go into that corner store. And there's nothing in this world that should stop you other than your own mind. Hair is giving Vanessa Kensington. I thought about wearing like a long, like black, tight, Elizabeth Hurley and Austin Powers style outfit. And then I was like, oh God, I don't know if I honestly, I don't think that's gonna be comfortable for me for the whole stream. Or the baker for all this cake. You guys, all you can see is the beautiful underside of my thighs. You can't even see the exquisite curvature of my buttocks, much to your chagrin. Oh, hi, cause for concern. Thank you. Ooh, hold on. Allow me to adjust my pillows ever so slightly. The worst thing about public transport is the screaming kids running up and down the aisles. I disagree. I don't mind when children behave childishly. To be honest, it actually relaxes me and makes me happy when children behave childishly. So my stream is 18 plus and there are no children here. I don't want the childishness here. I don't mind childishness where childishness is appropriate. Context is everything. It's the adults. It's the adults who behave in such a childish way. Yes. Also, it's always appropriate to blame the parents. Yeah. I mean, it depends on where you are, actually, because that's not necessarily true. I live in Canada, so healthcare is like one of those standard things in my country. Universal healthcare is a big part of Canadian culture. So, if there's children, you get to look at those children and look at the parents and be like, you did this on purpose. Our system is designed for you not to have to do this unless you choose to do it on purpose. And so then, yeah, there you are with other people's kids. Yeah. So I think one of the main facets of getting over any phobia is, did you guys see Inside Out 2? There's this great part in Inside Out 2 where the character of anxiety is introduced. And phobias are basically just like if in Inside Out, anxiety was in charge all the time instead of joy being in charge all the time. And then sharing it with like sadness and fear and... Because fear and anxiety are separate feelings. They are distinct and unique and they function separately, although they are very similar and they feel very similar. Fear moves you. Fear of falling will pull you physically back from the edge of a cliff. Fear of failure will similarly pull you back from pursuing your dreams. But anxiety, I mean, you're not anxious if you're standing on the edge of a cliff. You're in fear. There's a good reason. But anxiety is standing in the middle of an open field and worrying about falling off a cliff. You're unable to properly integrate or associate the circumstances around you in a logical way because you're so overwhelmed and paralyzed by anxiety, by the feeling of unknown terror. And anxiety in Inside Out 2 did this crazy, tricky thing. In the first Inside Out movie, we are introduced to Imagination Land. In the first Inside Out movie, Imagination Land was full of like houses made of cards and blanket forts and fluffy clouds and imaginary friends. Imagination Land was like so sweet and so fun because as a child, that's what you're imagining. And then in Inside Out, the first one, because, you know, the main character, Riley, is getting older, her imagination is suddenly filled with hot boys. You don't know him. He goes to a different school in Canada. Our imagination is a very, very powerful tool. Our imagination is something that we know can set us apart from animals. I mean, maybe some animals can imagine. We don't know. It's something. Hi, Ritus, my love. Well, we're still learning how many animals and how animals imagine. But us as humans, when we're small, our imagination creates towering magical playgrounds for us out of cardboard boxes left on the side of the road. Our imagination turns a pile of snow with a hole dug into it into a wintry battle fortress, the likes of with Christopher Nolan pales in comparison to. You know what I mean? Like our as children, our imaginations are these like high-powered. We all played video games on, I don't know, a SNES or N64 or the very, very first PlayStation or the very, very first Xbox, which was the size of a small sedan, and you had to park it in front of your house and run a generator in your backyard. But in our imaginations as children, those video games were so visceral and so fucking real. We felt it in GoldenEye every time we got shot. We felt it. We literally felt it in our bodies. Our imaginations are so fucking powerful as children. And then we go to school and we're told that our imaginations don't really have a time or place in that setting. And that's not appropriate because we can't just turn off our imaginations. As adolescents, our imagination starts creating protective scenarios to help us avoid danger. And that's anxiety. We think we're helping ourselves by having these, I don't know, repetitive arguments in the shower with people that we know. But that's just anxiety winning and working. The reality is, we can go to those people and we can say, hey, I want to have a hard conversation with you about my feelings, and it might hurt your feelings. But I also am telling you this because I love and value your feelings, and I think we both can be closer if we're honest. My best friend as a little girl had this, the dress is so dressing. She had this, she wanted to play this game too. She called it, let's play the game where we discuss what the other person does that annoys us. And I was like, yes, let's do it. I love that she played this game with me. It was very helpful because it helped me learn that you can be best friends with somebody and not love everything that they're doing. And also sometimes pointing out things that people aren't aware of helps them. It can be helpful if you approach it with an open heart. Having an open heart is hella difficult though, because so let me just gesture at everything. The hair looks amazing. I mean, I just don't even, North Countryman doesn't even realize I have a head. I don't know if you should be drawing attention away from the dress just yet. Woof. So, I realized, I have agoraphobia, like after Christmas. For Christmas, I went home with Stretch's family, and I was like, whoa, I don't have any motion sickness. What? Like, my motion sickness is cured suddenly, and I didn't even do anything. And then that's what made me kind of realize that maybe I was never motion sick. Maybe I just, like, felt so anxious. And now that I have, like, been convinced that I can relax and feel safe, I'm not as sick. So you got a phobia diagnosis for Christmas? No. I've never actually been diagnosed with agoraphobia. This is just me reading Wikipedia and going, oh my god, that's totally me. And then giving myself an excuse to do the next step. Oh, yes. Bal is the best little dog on the internet, yes. Oh yeah, Stretch's dad met Bal for, I think this was the first time he met her. I'm so in love with her. He's so in love with her. Him and that little dog are peas in a pod. It's very, very sweet. It's very, very sweet. Anyways, I realized I hate going places by myself. I get motion sick if I can't, like, trust the person who's driving the whatever that I'm in. I want to deal with this. I don't want to live like this. That's boring. So boring. So boring. So, years ago, maybe like 3 years ago, I was walking through a neighborhood, like adjacent to my neighborhood that I usually never go to. And there was this beautiful restaurant that was opening. It was like in the process of being constructed. It was a very, very, like a strikingly beautiful restaurant from the outside, for real. And as I was walking my dog, I was like, wow, this is, like, it's not even done yet, and it looks so beautiful. I was thinking it, I was like, expressing my face. The owner of the restaurant was there with contractors that day, and he saw me walking by, and he was like, you like it? And I was like, I do. It looks really beautiful. I can't wait to see when it's done. And he was like, you have to come inside. You have to see. And I was like, I have my dog with me. He's like, the restaurant's not going to be open for months. You can bring your dog inside. Who cares? I was like, that's a good point, actually. And so he, like, brought me and my dog inside, and it was, like, nothing in the room, but, like, the walls were nice, and the chandeliers hadn't been hung yet. I was like, yo, yeah, this is, like, a little vision. I walked in and I said, you know what? You really shit the bed here. All of this is garbage, and I can't believe from the outside you tricked me. Can you imagine? Can you imagine the fucking gall, the gumption? Anyways, I didn't do that, but I kind of wish I did now. that was years and years and years ago. And when I read this thing about like, oh, you might have agoraphobia because you don't like going places alone. You're also terrified of being trapped in a relationship with somebody. Can't be alone, can't be with people. I'm living on easy street, guys. I was like, okay, this is how you're gonna treat all this. You are gonna take yourself out to dinner. You're gonna go sit in a restaurant by yourself and you're gonna eat dinner. You're gonna learn that you can do it by yourself, so that'll be easy when you have to do it with another person. That's right, puppy, that's right. Perhaps it was psychosis. Perhaps I am a genius. Who knows? So I go to this restaurant. I make a reservation for one. I put in the line of you can make a request, right? Most restaurants are like, is it your birthday? Is it a special occasion? And I said, privacy, please, and thank you. And so I go to the restaurant, and they're like, we have 2 tables set up for you. You can pick whichever one you want. There's like one at the front, and then there's one near the back. And the one near the back, my brother was explaining this to me later, the one near the back might be called, if you guys work in restaurants, you'll recognize this, the chef's table. Sometimes restaurants will have a table that's close to the kitchen, and it's seen as the sort of like bad table in the restaurant, but actually it's for people who are there to experience not just eating the meal, but experience the preparation of the meal. North Countrymen, you are my first 5 gifted subs of the year. You are the first gifter of the year, North Countrymen. I'm gonna take a picture of my undercarriage and send it to you, out of deep appreciation for your generosity. And all it took was 5 gifted subs. Anyways, okay. I made the reservation. I made the reservation at the restaurant, put in the tagline that I was feeling the kind of way I was feeling, and I put on black tights, a short black dress, kind of like this one but looser, and a yellow long sleeve turtleneck underneath, a like golden yellow long sleeve turtleneck underneath. I put a headband on, and I put my glasses on, because I was like, just bring a book. You can just go to a restaurant and bring a book. And then as soon as you get anxious, you can just like dissociate into the book a little bit and then feel a little bit more grounded. And $25. Chase time. Wait, it doesn't mean that it's time for you to chase me? Baby, I don't know if I can run in these heels. I feel like I'm gonna do embarrassing things with my body if I try to run in these heels. The dress is literally dressing so much it broke you. It's on in like north. I haven't even stood up and twirled in it yet. Imagine how like literally bankrupt you would be if I stood up and twirled. Hello the Drew. Hello. Happy New Year. I go to the restaurant. I get to sit at I pick the chef's table, the one that's like near the back and by the kitchens, because I find it very soothing. I think it's really relaxing to hear the sounds of cooking, the preparation, the gentle murmur of the Coke heads in the kitchen. I love it. I love every part of it. And I did it. I sat there in the restaurant. I ordered a salad and a glass of rosé wine. And the maitre d' came over and chatted with me. The maitre d' said, "Did you have a good holiday?" I said, "Yes." I went home with, I said my boyfriend. He's not my boyfriend. He's kind of just like a friend with benefits. But that's the weird thing to say to a stranger. So I said, yes, I went home with my boyfriend for the holiday. And the maitre d' immediately like blinked and looked at me and looked around and was like, where the hell is he right now? And reflexively, I mean, you guys know, Stretch isn't coming out to dinner with me. He needs to be fighting with his roommate at all times. Hold on, did you change your setup? I did. The chair that used to be back here is here, and the chair that used to be here is back there. You guys, the Papasan chair deserves a break. Yeah, and also this chair is firmer and larger. Oh shit, yeah. You know what's great? You guys are you guys are just so engaged with the conversation and with me and doing other stuff you didn't even notice. Yeah. We shame eating alone above all. Oh no. No, 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 no. Not when someone like me eats alone. I'm sorry, not to be rude, not to sound entitled, but to merely have an objective perspective of myself as a human being. When I go and I sit down at a table by myself, every person in the room immediately is like, who is she? What is she doing? Is she meeting somebody? Is she just here by herself? There's no way she's just out here by herself looking like that. Oh my God, she pulled out a book. She literally is just here enjoying herself alone in public. And I know this is the truth because the second time I did it, I went to a completely different spot. And this girl came up to me. Her name was Salma. Hi, Salma. I love you, girl. Salma came up to me and was like, are you meeting someone? And I was like, no, I just hate being alone. So coming places alone is sort of just like therapy. And she's like, can I sit down and talk to you? And she came and she like sat with me. She was like, I really love your hair. Like, I love your dress. I love the whole thing. And she's like, you don't seem like you're uncomfortable. And I was like, it's because of the hair and it's because of the makeup and it's because I know that if I do this, kind women like you will reach out to me and then I don't have to feel alone or scared. And she was like, oh, and I said, I was like, keep an eye out in the mail. You're going to get a check for this therapy session later. And she like loved that. Oh man. When she told me her name was Salma though, I fucked up. I made a huge mistake. I feel very embarrassed. And hopefully I will have the cognition to never make this mistake again. She told me her name was Salma, and what do you think the next idiotic, predictable, stupid, pedantic, awful, bland words came out of my mouth next? Oh, you mean like Selma Hayek? I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do the most, like, unsexy Ahiago face imaginable, but for real. Oh my God. Selma Hayek! No! Salmonella? No, Salma. Salmonella, no. Not Patty and Salma from The Simpsons? No, it's Selma Hayek. The most beautiful... I did. But to this woman's credit, she obviously has heard this so many times, she snapped back without even blinking. Yes! She was inspired to be named after me. And I was literally so grateful in that moment. I think that what was happening is that she and I were having a genuine human connection. Because in that moment, I was able to respond. I knew that her grace and beauty was inspired from somewhere. And I'm glad that it's you. Always knew it was you. Glad that I was able to sort of get back on her level after she shared personal information with me and I immediately associate her with someone who's like famous and not connected to her whatsoever. Like completely sort of erasing her as a person and then just slapping somebody like more famous and quote unquote better on top of her. What a rude thing for me to do. What a literally rude, ridiculous thing for me to do. And Rich Forever, for you guys who immediately, Selma, not nasty rather, but the sort of like spinster sister of The Simpsons, you guys, that's not a nice caricature for anyone to be associated with. Especially a beautiful young woman who has the courage to walk up to somebody like me and be like, yo girl, what you talking about? What you doing? Selma Hayek really is amazing. She is literally so fucking gorgeous. You got a ball for, oh, she got a ball for me. I think I need to return this. We actually stole this. We stole this ball from Stretch. It was in their car on the way home for Christmas. And she was crying in the back seat. And I was like, why are you crying in the back seat? And then I saw the ball on the ground. And I was like, oh, you want the ball. And then she was playing with it at their house. And then it kind of got like put away in the toy. So anyways, I probably should return that ball. Oops, stole the ball. Selma Hayek is amazing, but I prefer Penelope Cruz. Dashing, I love you so much. Which is why in kindness and in sincerity, I'm going to tell you, those words are not nice. You said a mean thing. I know you didn't mean to say a mean thing, but saying, this girl is nice, but I prefer another girl, is a very mean thing to say. you could say Selma Hayek is so beautiful, and I always think of Penelope Cruz when I think of Selma Hayek. That rings true. That is the truth of your sentiment without tearing anybody else down. Oh my gosh, Dashing. Babe, I do it all the time. I said Selma Hayek to that girl's face like a fucking idiot. Oh my god. We all are doing these things. Constance just like, yeah. Have you seen J-Lo recently? Have you seen J-Lo? I feel a deep affinity with J-Lo. I think that J-Lo got to where she is by cultivating her delusional self. I'm the exact same. Delusion recognizes delusion. I think we recognize it in mega pop stars like Mariah Carey and Ariana Grande. And you know what's crazy? I actually don't think Beyonce is delusional at all. I would say Beyonce is then the antithesis of all of that, where Beyonce is incredibly thoughtful. She seems to have a very grounded relationship with her mother. Anyways, all this is to say, thank you, my love. Lean into your delusions. The truth is, ooh, baby, it's a wild world. Ooh, baby, it's a wild world. You might find yourself in a situation where you are shit out of luck and all by yourself, abandoned, discarded on the side of the road, and you are going to have to reach inside yourself, grab onto that intense strength that you have cultivated your whole life, and pull yourself forward. It is very, very difficult to do, but delusion helps. Delusion, and by extension, dissociating into a happier idea, a happier state of mind, or just out of the moment. It's a very natural coping mechanism. It's an incredibly natural coping mechanism. Queen Moose! Where's the ball? Oh, there's the ball. Queen Moose! I love a Queen Moose. It's been 2 months of Queen Moosey goodness. No. Delusion is not okay. Okay, wait, you're right. Delusion is not the same thing as imagination. Delusion is not the same thing as imagination. I think I struggle with that because I'm often like, I mean, is it delusional for me to imagine that I could become a successful Twitch streamer? For many people, it is a delusional idea. Absolutely. Just like for many people, it's a delusional idea that they would become a Disney princess in real life. But then again, these things are all true and real, and it's like, where's the line between delusion and imagination? Delusion can sometimes make you lick donuts at the bakery that you are not buying, and that is not good. The dissociation in that moment, the inability to contextualize, what am I doing right now, and how will it affect other people down the line, is dissociation, absolutely dissociation. Oh my god, and tell me about the dissociation, my god. Dissociation is pretending like you didn't speak in a blaccent for years. The reality of the situation is many of us spoke with an inappropriate blaccent. AARV? I'm so sorry, I forget the acronym, which is rude and feels a little racist of me in the moment. But the truth is, many people, AAVE, many people were inappropriately speaking in AAVE in the past, which stands for African American Vernacular English. It was not just Ariana Grande. She was not the only one who did it. But she did do it. And now that she's trying to win an Oscar, it seems like she's trying to wipe from the internet any evidence of her speaking in AAVE. You were thinking of AARP. What's AARP? I'll be honest with you guys, I have a lot of difficulty with like acronyms and spelling. It's not always the easiest thing for me. I struggle. I really, really do. Oh, Jay, we've had a stream, 9 months of a stream, baby. Although I feel terribly sad because I went off SSRIs in October. I went off SSRIs in October, and it's January now, and I feel like I've lost. I feel like I might have lost like 15 to 20 pounds, which is a lot in such a short amount of time, and doing nothing different. My clothes fit better, which is nice. Going from like 140 pounds to like closer to 120 pounds. That's a my poor body. I used to have like such a belly. I had like a belly to the point that people were like, "Are you pregnant?" I was like, "No, I just have like a big fat, pardon me, I didn't have a big fat belly, but I had like a really sexy little fat belly. It was like another titty. It's really hot." It's kind of gone now. It's kind of gone. My stomach's getting like flatter and flatter and flatter, which I guess for some people is great, but for me, I was like, I liked my belly. I literally would roll over at night and cut my hands on my belly and be like, "I love you, fat little belly. You're a reminder of every cheeseburger I've ever enjoyed." It genuinely brings me comfort. I don't know why. Third eye? No, I love my third burger titty. Okay, so this is the thing. I had a vision. You guys, I had a vision. Listen to my vision. This is the vision. Are you ready? As I say it, tell me if you too can see this. It's the early morning, and it is so warm already. You can anticipate the full heat of the day just from the rising sun. And I step out onto my beautiful balcony terrace, surrounded by plants and gardens and gentle flowing water features. And I'm pregnant with twins, and I'm on Lake Como in Italy. I just was like, oh, that's such a fun idea. That would be so nice. That'd be so nice. So like literally basically pad me. Oh, I'm just describing the movie Star Wars Revenge of the Sith. And then I die of a broken heart. Because I'm watching my husband and his mentor just face fuck each other so hard. And I'm like, this is super hot, Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen, but I need you to raise these babies with me. Anakin, you're breaking my heart. I loved those movies. Oh my God. If you don't have, what is it, Duel of the Fates? If you don't have Duel of the Fates on your pump up playlist, I understand why you're not motivated to go to the gym, my love. Do me a favor, my darlings. Create a new playlist. Do it just for me. Just do it for me. You don't have to do it for yourself. Just like you're jerking yourself off for me, you can do this for me as well. Go to your Spotify and start your workout playlist and put Duel of the Fates on your workout playlist. And you're gonna start by listening to Duel of the Fates and just doing like, I don't know, like some like gentle stretches and squats, some body weight exercises. It's difficult to not be motivated and like pumped up listening to that music. And then the idea of being like, yeah, I'm gonna get fit and then I'm gonna learn how to use a lightsaber, and then me and my friends are gonna recreate lightsaber battles at every holiday gathering instead of having to like, I don't know, sit through your uncle's racist tirades. You're helping the world. You're literally helping the world. Shut the fuck up, Juice on Demand. If you put Duel of the Fates into a Spotify playlist, the Spotify player bar is a lightsaber. This is the universe telling you you need to start exercising to this song just to start. just as like a preface. It's rewarding you in every way it can. Duel of the Fates is one of the reasons to not skip the Phantom Menace and Star Wars rewatch. Those movies were so bad. But they were entertaining. Like how I'm bad, but still entertaining. That's why there's so many YouTube videos about people saying awful things about me. See, you can be bad as long as you're entertaining. Oh my fucking god, it is a lightsaber. This is very exciting, and it's going to be a little dopamine hit every single time. You open it and you're like, it's a fucking lightsaber. Getting ready to become a Jedi Master. Just getting ready to master my Jedi feelings. You're a lightsaber. Attack of the Clones, I could never finish because of how awful it is. I think I might be psychotic. Because he kills all the younglings. What? Oh my god. Talk about an insane level of dissociation from reality. If you're not with me, then you're my enemy. I'm so sorry. I missed your comment earlier. I was too busy reveling in the rest of everything, but that's good, right? That's good writing because it's flawless. If you are not with me, then you are only my enemy. The depth of that. Oh my god. Rainier Maria Rilke is turning in his grave. Shakespeare shakes. Oh my god, I love it. Wow. It feels, it kind of gives you whiplash when you realize that the Phantom... Wait, hold on, sorry. What was the first one? The first prequel. I'm kind of forgetting all the names of all of them. It's very crazy to think about in 2001, that movie. Phantom Man, okay, nice. Yeah, because, Darth Maul made all of us very horny in a way that none of us are comfortable with. Why did I want to have sex with that man? Why did I want to have sex with the demon from Insidious? To save my kids and wife, I must listen to this raisin of a man. Overthrow the... Oh my god, it's so funny. Speaking of something so funny, I need to take a break because I gotta reset myself, but I had one of the most uncomfortable dissociative experiences of my entire life over Christmas. And it was because I had to sit in all earnesty in a room and listen to Stretch's older brother describe his brand new, revolutionary, world-changing idea. And then in all sincerity, this adult man, this 35-year-old adult man, sat in his father's beautiful, comfortable living room and described community centers. I had to stop myself from laughing. I thought he was joking at first. He literally was he said, there's a loneliness epidemic and I think I figured out how to solve it. And then he described community centers. We're gonna talk about this in a minute. I'm gonna let that settle so you can gather your thoughts. Oh no. Oh, sorry. What a weird sensation. Oh my God. I put eye drops in because sometimes on my break I go and I puff on a joint a little bit and it makes my eyes kind of red and I don't like that on stream. And I could feel the eye drops going down into my sinuses. That's gross. So weird. Now you have to listen to me feeling things. Okay. Hello, I'm back. I've returned. Oh, too small to see. Hi, too small to see. Tiny babies. Oh, no, it didn't hurt. It, like, feels soothing to have your, like, sinuses cleansed from eye drops, I guess. Oh, God. No, that sounds psycho. Oh, yeah. I know about Psycho Baby. You know I know about Psycho Baby. Put my pillows in place. Pillow 1. Pillow the 2. And now I sit back and I relax with you. Okay. So my friends, I cannot stop thinking about this story. It is Christmas Eve. We have sat down together in the beautifully decorated small condo. Pardon me, not small, gigantic, I'll be honest, huge condo that Stretch's father lives in. Stretch's father lost his wife, Stretch's mother, about 2 years ago. So he's downsized. It's what happens as you get older and your partner passes. So his dad was so excited to have me and my dog come stay for Christmas, and it was so I love their dad so much. He is such a sweet man. He also like literally and kind of figuratively lives in an ivory tower, which might explain why his son thinks that he invented community centers. Okay. We're sitting in this very sweet, kind old man. Stretch and Red's dad, their dad is 80. He's an 80-year-old man. He waited until very late in life to have children. Their mother was also like in her maybe like early 40s when she had the boys, or like late 30s when she had the boys. Both of his parents are older than regular parents are. This 80-year-old dad. He lives in this beautiful, gigantic condo. It's wonderful. And his son is like, so, as you know, I'm gonna pivot a little bit in my life. The unspoken element of what he was saying is that Stretch's older brother, Red, is an actor. And you know how when you've been an actor for 13 years and it's going really well and you pivot away from acting? So he's like, I'm gonna pivot away from acting, and this is what I'm gonna pivot towards. I wanna find something that people need. He had heard from a mentor that you have to look for what people want and then fill that. So listen to people when they talk about what they feel, what they are missing in their lives, what they wish they had. Listen to these people and then find a way to give it to them. And so Red, Stretch's older brother, was like, here's my idea. A building where there's no religious affiliation, but it's like a community space where you can work and focus and connect. There would be a coffee shop. There would be a like meditation yoga space. And as Red is describing this, I look around the room because I'm like, this can't be really happening. Like, it's a game that we're playing and one of us is going to like go, oh, you got us. No, in all sincerity. I know you said community center, which is apt, but it also just sounds like a public library. Here's the thing. We're all right, because this idea has already happened. This idea exists in tons of facets already, for sure, absolutely, undeniably, really. It's so many things. I mean, like, it's interesting, because my observation from that was, this man is very disconnected. He's not just disconnected from his own ability to think and discover and create, but he is physically disconnected from the literal world around him. He has perhaps a perspective that he is some sort of savior or like the main character. It does, you know what? It really smacks of Elon Musk reinventing the subway. He's like, what if it's just cars and we drive it underground instead of it being like well-timed, publicly funded public transportation? What the world needs now, though, is love, sweet love. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Burt Bacharach. Oh my god. I've never wanted to be a hostess at a restaurant because I don't like serving people, but I do love hosting. I would love to like MC. Oh, just let me like set up. This next artist is one that has shaped each and every one of our days. With the music and the inspiration through these lyrics. Like, I love this shit. It makes me so happy. If you guys ever want to pretend to be like old famous singers, yo, is Dolly Parton in the audience? Just tell me. Just be like in the guise of Dolly Parton. Hey, sugar, are you gonna set me up for this set? I don't know what Dolly would say. I apologize, Dolly. I didn't mean to. My hair is not nearly big enough to channel her. Oh my god. To be honest, the idea of introducing Dolly Parton. Also, thank you, Heron. Thank you for the subscription. It's a tier 1 subscription. I look forward to the day where you lose all personal self-control and it's just a T3 for you and me. Dolly Parton's amazing. Dolly Parton, I had this like realization when I was younger. It wasn't Dolly Parton who clicked it for me. It was, maybe you guys can help me think of this. There's, Rage Against the Machine. The lead singer of Rage Against the Machine holds a very specific academic like level of study. And when I was younger and I like read that fun fact or heard that fun fact about, I feel really bad that I'm like, I don't know who the lead singer of Rage Against the Machine is. I feel bad. I apologize. I apologize, lead singer of Rage Against the Machine. I just know that you rage against the machine that I also love to rage against. But that your music makes me feel uncomfortable because it's loud and angry. Anyways, when I was younger, I had this, what I felt was like a fucking brilliant idea akin to Red's Community Center / public library / non-denominational church, which also already exists. Zach De La Roca. Yes. And then what is, he has like a political science, he has like a master's in political science or something to that effect. Yay! Oh, you guys, I need to upgrade the Patreon as well. Also, I'm in like disgusting desperate need of a pedicure because my current pedicure has grown out, but I'm also like, you fuckers love that, don't you? You fuckers love that, don't you? Real grown out, like real long manicured toenails. They're not like crazy disgusting long, but it's like if I let them go another week, it's gonna be like, girl, what are you doing? We got them. Are you planning on climbing Yosemite yourself with those little grabbers? What? Oh my god! It's so impressive every single time I hear it. Zach De La Roca, the main singer of Rage Against the Machine, holds a PhD in anthropology. So this idea crashed into my brain the first time I read that, more than even who he was or the accomplishment. That was impartial to the realization. That was like an incepted idea. That was like a spinning top inside of me. And it literally just said, oh no, hold on. I read that wrong. His mother has the PhD in anthropology. Whew, okay. That makes more sense why I wouldn't remember that then. Successful people find ways to succeed. wow, winners really win. It was like those words in my head. Successful people find a way to succeed. Winners really win. And this idea as like a little kid was so propped up then by all the like pop stars and people saying, like, winners never quit, right? Winners never quit. You're not going to be good at everything, but you can't stop trying to find what you're good at because you discovered you're bad at some things. When I started as a professional Disney princess, I was not the best professional Disney princess. No, I was not. There are other girls who had been doing this for years. There were other women who were way more naturally talented, and to be honest, way more naturally beautiful. There were some princesses at this company whose faces literally looked like they were sculpted by God. These girls are so, and like, I'm not a bad looking bitch either. You know what I mean? I know beauty when I see it. I fucking can recognize it. Gorgeous women. I wasn't the best when I started. I wasn't even the best after working there for 2 years. I was literally never the best. So there were always girls who were better than me. But in my own small way, I was the best Snow White. Like, there was nobody in the company who was better than, like, I was the best fucking Snow White. I wasn't always the Snow White that they sent out because sometimes they wanted, I don't know, different energy or a different focus or a different person. But when they needed Snow White, I was their Snow White. And so I could have focused on the fact that I should have been Belle. I didn't, maybe this isn't true, but if it were, maybe I didn't like Snow White, and maybe I couldn't be happy with Snow White because I wanted to be Belle. I also wanted to be Belle. It would have been insanely flattering to be like literally the Belle. You know what I mean? Her dress is so pretty. I think it's one of the most flattering dresses as well. It's also one of the more comfortable dresses, to be honest. And Belle's kind of sexy and smart and like fiery. I really like Belle. Snow White is intensely sweet and kind and gentle and generous. And I like being that as well. And finding the happiness, the contentment with whatever you have. My ex-boyfriend used to say, money can't buy you happiness, but I'd much rather cry in my Lamborghini than on the bus. And I had to hold my tongue because I wanted to respond, if you can't be happy on the bus, you don't deserve to cry in a Lamborghini. You know, like, if you can't find a way to be happy where you are in the shit when things are terrible, maybe you don't deserve for your circumstances to be better. Yeah. The thighs. The lead singer of The Offspring is a microbiologist, though, and what a unique I love his voice. Such a unique voice. Heck yeah. I heard him share recently that you gotta keep him separated was originally self-talk about culturing petri dishes. Yeah. The ability to connect culturing petri dishes and keeping them separated, and he did it enough in his head to be like, oh my god, is this a song? I mean, that's the reason why we don't put all of our eggs in one basket, you know? You can't just be like, music is my passion and all I'm going to do is music, because you're not a TV character in a Japanese soap opera. You're not Hannah Montana. We're human beings. We're people. We need to have like different things going on in our lives. Our minds require exquisite stimulation in many different facets. Keeping your head, your mind, your body, your energy too tuned to one frequency all the time, it leads to stagnation. Leads to devastating stagnation. Gotta keep them separated. What a great intonation for each and every one of us to share. I'm not seeing any special education qualifications. That's been pretty politically active for most of his career. Maybe I was getting him mixed up with the lead singer of The Offspring instead of Rage Against the Machine. I think that seems possible as well. Offspring, Rage Against the Machine. To be honest, those are both more bands that my like dad and brother listened to than I did. Their first 2 albums were very, very dark. You'd never guess where they would eventually end up. I think that makes perfect sense. The first things that are going to bubble to the surface are the most intense and the most unmanageable, usually. And then once you work through all the shit you're trying to, ignore through your own creative process, then you're able to actually be creative instead of just reactive to your circumstances. Incredible art is made as a reaction to your circumstances. The Diary of Anne Frank. Absolutely. Yes. Anne Frank had insane circumstances around her that she channeled into a diary that then became artwork for all of us to consume and to relate to and to use to connect to ourselves and to history and to the people next to us and the people who came before us. But also, Helen Keller, after being rendered deaf and blind due to a childhood infection, went from being, by her own testament, basically a wild fucking animal without any ability to think or feel, to one of the most thoughtful, profound writers and characters in human history. Or rather, icons. She's not a character, she's a human person. She's icons of human history. And then, I don't want to be rude again. This isn't a judgment on any of you, it's because of my own experiences. Helen Keller's experience of going from being completely senseless, truly and profoundly senseless, to then being able to think and feel and interact with the world, to be able to build friendships, to be able to have profoundly beautiful thoughts and feelings that she was able to communicate into books that we get to read. It literally takes your breath away, and in a humbling way, it makes you look at yourself and go, Jesus Christ, why can't I write a book? Why can't I connect with friends? Why can't I enrich my own senses to the point that I become a vibrant human? And the truth is you can, but only if you are able to recognize your senselessness. Do you guys remember the webcomic Hyperbole and a Half? Ali Broche is the woman who made this beautiful webcomic called Hyperbole and a Half. I loved it. Her art style was relaxed but expressive. Oh, I loved it. She wrote a book. She has a book of Hyperbole and a Half, and in the book it actually has even extra stories, which are very, very, very much worth checking out. Absolutely. And she does a sort of like terrifyingly beautiful job of describing her own experiences with depression. Their own experiences of depression. All of us will experience depression, like, in a way, at times. Some of us will have it chronically throughout our lives. Some of us will have it periodically because of environmental circumstances. And some people will just experience it as a one-off because of the inescapable reality of human life. Oh! I was thinking of Tom Morello, Rage's lead guitarist, not the lead singer. He has a political science degree from Harvard. There we go. Wow. It's crazy how memory and all this stuff sort of flits together. Yes. Yes. So in Hyperbole and a Half, Ali Broche talks about her experiences with depression, and she described it so wonderfully, I'll never stop thinking about it. She said depression is like your goldfish died. And when you go to the people in your life who are closest to you, the people in your life who you are hardwired to rely on emotionally, psychologically, socially, even physically at times. You go to those people and you say, my goldfish died, and the only response you get from people is, you can't find your goldfish? Let's look for your goldfish. Maybe your goldfish is just hiding. And you feel this incredible disconnect. And it's not just a feeling, it's a physiological experience that can be tracked by brain scans, by your heart rate, There's something called your heart rate variable, HRV. Your breathing, that now you're doing manually because I told you about it. Sorry about that. Your breathing, my breathing, our breathing, and our heart rate are intrinsically linked, not just because of their location in our bodies, but because of the systems that they both work together. Our heart pumps blood through our body. Our lungs pump oxygen into our blood. These things are necessary to work together in a very tight, cooperative way. But feelings of disconnect, feelings of dissociation, feelings of depression, all of these things will affect your heart's ability to sync up with your lungs, with your musculature system, with your body's ability to breathe. A lot of people, I think, are a little bit numb to how they might be feeling, but our bodies are not. You can hook somebody up to a heart rate variable, HRV machine, and you can talk to them and you can get them going, and you can see very clearly on the graph, wow, their heart rate is spiking, but their breathing is slowing down. That is an unhealthy, detached disconnect physiologically inside a person. And if your heart starts racing and your lungs are shutting down because your brain is going into overdrive and not letting these systems naturally work together, it creates dissonance and it creates a lot of stagnation. It's like why you can't finish that book. It's why you're not exercising so much. It's why you feel like you just want to do less. And it's because your body is physiologically misfiring. This guy is saying a lot. Sometimes it is suffering ailments, disabilities that boost motivation and ability to create. Oh, we should just ban this person. I don't like that perspective and I don't care to engage with it. Who was it that said that about depression? It's a very profound quote. Allie Broche, A-L-L-I-E, her last name, B as in banana, R-O-S-H. She was the author of Hyperbole and a Half, a very famous, in my perspective, a very famous webcomic. And yeah, her expression of depression, being like, your goldfish is dead, and everyone around you is like, we'll help you find your goldfish. Don't worry, we're gonna get your goldfish. It's just like, you're not listening to the thing. I can't even connect with you. Did he just present a tortured soul argument just in like a lot more words? The ability to turn pain and suffering into art is exactly that. It's art. It is not the average expected experience of a human being. None of you deserve suffering. None of you deserve suffering. You do not need to experience pain and hardship and inescapable shock and tolerate it for some sort of like greater cosmic scheme of artistry. Nope, nope, nope. Being able to turn sadness and pain into art is like flipping a monster truck up onto its back wheels, running it straight and hard and fast as you can into another ramp, flipping its back wheels hard and fast over its head, and then landing the fucker. It's like, it seems impossible, but people have done it. Nobody is expecting you to do it, especially not in your day-to-day life. We do expect you to get into your car and drive it like a regular human being and make sure that you obey all the street signs and stoplights and whatnot. You don't have to turn your pain into art, and you do not need to suffer to be an artist. That is, I swear to God, that was the mentality that my theater school teachers, our theater school teachers literally said to us, when I was in theater school, the teachers would be fucking the students. You guys are getting off easy. I wouldn't fuck any of you. And like, an adult man is saying this to us, and I'm like, hey, so we're 19 and 20 years old, Your daughter is my roommate. It feels weird for you to be saying this to me and using it to justify your shitty teaching habits. Like, you're not raping me in a video game, so I should be grateful to you, is a wild sell for all the tuition that we paid. It was crazy. Monster truck forward flips are pure art, correct? Correct, absolutely. You are in awe to see it. But you don't expect everyone to be able to do that, and anyone who does is an asshole. Oh, yeah. That is a dark joke. That's a dark joke. That was a dark perspective for an adult man to share in a room full of his students. Holy fuck. Oh, we don't like it. None of us liked it. None of us liked it. It was bizarrely traumatic. Also, just like the hilarious parallels. So, I've been like working. I have this like goal in my life that I'm gonna like get married and have kids maybe one day. Who knows? I don't necessarily have to get married to have kids, but getting married I think would be very, very fun, and being in a marriage I think would be lovely as well. I'm open to the idea. I'm warming up to it in my old age, and I have started planning my bachelorette party. I'm so excited. For my bachelorette party, I'm going to hire some actors. Actors love getting hired. They love being paid to act. I'm gonna hire some actors. I'm gonna design some amazing, perfectly nostalgic, over-the-top, in-character costumes, and have a Sailor Moon themed bachelorette party where we sort of like run all over the city of Toronto dressed as Sailor Moon characters, doing battle with over-the-top caricatures of actors dressed as our theater school teachers. Because we had this one teacher who was bizarrely, seriously, he was the dad of one of our friends. So we had this friend, she excommunicated herself from the friend group. She started dating a guy who like sexually harassed one of our friends in the group. And we were like, whoa, don't you remember when he sexually harassed her? And she was like, I remember when he sexually harassed me. And our friend was like, yeah, but he said that he was just flirting with her, and now he wants to date me. So she left our friend group to date him. She now moved to the Maritimes and is married to somebody else entirely. So I'm glad that she left that relationship, but it sucks that it like cost her relationship with our friend group. I cannot stress enough how incredible it has been through the most difficult parts of my life that I have my core group of best friends from university. I have a core group of best friends that I've cultivated online, being a Twitch streamer. I have my core group of best friends that I have like cultivated in my neighborhood. I have my core group of best friends that I've cultivated through like all the various work that I've done throughout my life, like the retail jobs that I've done, my Disney princessing jobs, that time I worked in a hot dog factory. I still have friend groups in all of those, and oh my god, like I'm still like very close friends with my brother's ex-girlfriends. Like having the resources to be able to reach out to people and be like, you want to go see a movie? I'm having a bad day, is literally everything. And so I do feel bad for this girl in our friend group who left the friend group because it's hard. It's harder to make friends the older you get. It's much easier to hold on to the ones that you make when you're young and in school. So her dad, our teacher, would definitely be one of the villains because he just ate. He just ate all class, every class. He would come into class and he would sit down like a fucking mountain troll from Lord of the Rings, and he would whip open whatever fucking food he purchased that day on his way, and then he would just eat while we did acting exercises in front of him. And in between bites with food in his mouth, it doesn't seem like you were really connected in that scene. The timing wasn't authentic. Did you work on this at all? It was just, oh my god, I hated it. It was hours. Can you guys imagine hours and hours and hours of that every single week? It's just like, my dude, I am paying thousands of dollars to be in this room with you, and you are not meant to be nurturing yourself. You are literally being paid to nurture us. And he just couldn't even. I'm so sorry I did that to you guys. I'm so sorry. It was disgusting also because, like, I'm sitting right next to him. I'm like, smelling his food, also being like, fuck, now I'm hungry, instead of being present in the goddamn moment. Oh my God, I hated it. And then the juxtaposition of our other teacher who was this rail thin whip. Imagine if Edna Mode had a baby with Mirage from The Incredibles. That was our other teacher. She would come into class. I'm not even joking or exaggerating. She would come into class. She would tear off a muffin top. So she was holding like the muffin bottom, which oftentimes is maybe like half a cup of actual muffin muffin mass, if you will. But she tears off the top of the muffin, which is the biggest, she would hand it to our friend, the Montreal friend. You know the Montreal friend. And our Montreal friend would sit there like a fucking squirrel, nibbling on this muffin top that our teacher would give, and then that teacher would slowly pick at that muffin bottom for the entire class, and that was the only thing that woman ate all day, every day. So it was the exact opposite thing. It was just like, oh my God, like, we want her to be eating more. She was so thin. She was so, like, focused. Just muffin top. Oh my God. So, like, I have an idea for her costume in that, like, her skirt would be, like, a tutu muffin top. You guys, I can't imagine my friends' faces when they come for my bachelorette party and I'm like, get in your Sailor Moon costumes, and they're like, no, V, please, and I go, no, V, yes. And I've like custom designed Sailor Moon inspired costumes for each of them. Also very Bob Mackie, because I know a lot of my friends are not into like mini skirts and bodysuits like I am. But my friends do love glitter and drama, and Bob Mackie a la Sailor Moon feels like a beautiful, flamboyant, you know, compromise, especially because we're dressing as superheroes, galactic warriors, traveling through time and space, fighting evil and winning love by daylight. Anyways, okay, so the teachers as the villains, the like first bad teacher, I don't even know what I would call him, the one who was always eating. I can't even, I have so much like discomfort around him. It's hard to be creative, like when I'm thinking about him. It's a lot easier to be creative when I'm thinking about something happy and then using things that made me unhappy as a sort of like foil to what would make me happier. Oh my God. And would tuxedo mask be included? I imagine that if this was my bachelorette party, I would be Sailor Moon, and then like at some point my fiance would show up as tuxedo mask and just like throw roses at us and be like, I'm helping and you need me. And all of us would be like, you didn't do anything to help. We did this all ourselves. You're just showing up for the glory. Iconic tuxedo mask. Oh man. Anyways, Mr. Snacks a lot. Would just like constantly be taking nibbles of Muffin Top's big Muffin Top tutu. And she'd have to be like slapping him away, being like, stop it, not right now. It's so funny. I hope Brooklyn's not here and listening right now. Fuck. Actually, no, if she's here, it's fine. This doesn't need to be like a surprise, surprise. We could all like plan it together and that's good too. Anyways, it feels really fun to plan a bachelorette party that might never happen because I might never get married. But it's just fun to imagine. What a great party. Maybe I could do it for a birthday party or something, you know? Like, it doesn't need to be a bachelorette party. That would be a great birthday party, too. I love your little black dress and heels. Good to see you, V. You don't want to get married? I am terrified of being trapped in a bad situation. I'm really, really scared of being trapped in a bad situation. It makes me so nervous. Oh no, my pillow. Yeah, and so being trapped in a bad relationship, being like trapped in a bad job. Like, I don't want to do any of that, right? What about like stockings with those heels? I love that you guys are trying to like adjust my outfit to make yourselves even hornier. No offense, but I feel like that's more of a sign of you being too horny than me needing to adjust. You know what I mean? You could be like a princess who marries Prince Charming. To be honest, I feel like I was probably voted in university most likely to marry into royalty, for sure. Yeah. But then I'm also like, I don't want to marry into a rigid, traditional family structure. No thank you. No thank you. I really value expression and trust. And this is gonna sound crazy, but I value conflict. There's a difference between conflict and like war. War is violent and impersonal and so gigantic. It's like it's literally phenomenal, right? But conflict doesn't mean, conflict does not need to be phenomenal conflict. Conflict can be small. Conflict can be the solution to conflict. And what about kids? Oh, I'm not worried about having kids. So many of you are trying to get me pregnant so fast. So I said I'm like, I'm terrified of being trapped in bad situations. Part of getting over that irrational fear that I am going to blink and find myself trapped in a bad situation is I'm taking myself out more. I'm like taking myself on dates by myself. And the maitre d' at this restaurant that I decided to go to, just immediately, oh my God, the way that his like face and eyes lit up. He's an older Greek man. Sorry, he's not that much older. I wonder how old he is. He's maybe like early 50s. His eyes like lit up when he saw me. He was even happier when I explained that like the guy that I'm seeing wasn't with me because he was too busy fighting with his roommate who's a girl. Immediately the maitre d' was like, he's having sex with his roommate. You know that, right? And I was like, oh no. Oh God, I really hope I'm not being cheated on. That's embarrassing, right? I hope not. Can't love yourself? Oh, can't love if you don't love yourself first. Oh my God, V, you look amazing. I love the shoes too. Feeling amazing. Feeling amazing. Oh yeah. So this maitre d' he's so smitten with me. I went back last night for like my second dinner. He was very excited to see me. Guys, he texted me this morning. I woke up this morning to a text message. The Patreon content is literally 1,000% worth it every single time, guys. The Patreon content is fucking incredible. You are missing out and you want it. Nah, it's a huge over. He could lose his job. He could totally lose his job, absolutely, for texting me. I did not give him his number. I gave the restaurant my phone number. Oh my God, he texted me. I don't even remember what I don't even remember what the text message said because I was just like, oh my God, I'm glad that I was right about my intuition that he was smitten with me. Interesting. What does retweet mean? I love, says baby Gohan headbutt. I love everything I'm seeing and hearing. Your speaking voice. Thank you. If it wasn't restaurant related, yeah, that's a big red flag. Yeah, it's like when a delivery driver starts calling yourself. So no, it's okay. So he and I had like a full conversation. I don't feel like he overstepped because I feel comfortable. Number one, just ignoring his text messages and not responding and just being like, honestly, I don't need to respond to this if I don't want to. And if the next time I saw him, he was like, you never responded to my text, I would be like, I had no idea who that was from. And it would be inappropriate for anyone to text me in that way. The difference between it being appropriate or inappropriate is the agency in the situation. Do I feel like he is taking advantage of information that I've given? Or do I feel like I'm in control of the situation and I can respond however I want to him stepping very close to me, taking a big step close to me? I remember Papa Som chairs stroms. I'm so sorry. I guess I'm having a stroke. It must be time for me to go on my break. I remember, says Astro on coffee. I remember the Papasan chair stream. The Papasan's right here. You guys, I'm just wearing the Papasan like a halo to remind you that I am the comfiest and sexiest and most unique thing you've ever wanted to sit on you. Yeah, sit on you. Sit on you. Sorry, camera's right there. Sit on you. Oh my god, nice legs, girl. Woo! They go all the way up. These are not tits. It's actually just a continuation of my thighs. Wait, is that why? Wait. Wait. No. That's... Wait. I don't like what I just said because I feel like it made a really disgusting kind of sense. It's time for me to go on my break. Oh, God, I've done a terrible thing here. Woof. Yeah, let's do it. Let's take a little break. Okay, let's take a little break. Oh, BRB. I'm so glad I have clips turned off. now I don't even feel like saying anything. Good, says the moderator. You guys. Oh my god. You guys, you can talk when I'm not here. You're allowed to exist outside of my view, you know? Don't worry about that. This is Letters to a Young Poet by Rainier Maria Rilke. You guys gotta read this fucking book. It's absolutely amazing. It's so tiny. It's such a tiny, tiny book, and this man spits ridiculous fire. I can't even believe the things that I was reading in this book. I was like, what the fuck? Oh my god, why aren't they teaching this in school? Oh my god, this one's very, very fun because it's another one of those, like, it's so incredibly dense. It's so incredibly dense. You read it one sentence at a time and you go, how did this man jam so much into a single sentence? So Rainier Maria Rilke is a famous author, famous writer. He's a poet. If you want to look up one of his like more famous works, I believe it's called The Panther. He wrote a poem about a panther pacing in its cage. And this poem has greatly resonated with men and women, adults and children alike. Go check that out. Amazing, so good. At one point in his life, after he became very famous, I think he was already working with Rodin. I'm so sorry, I have not studied art. I don't know how to pronounce any of these fuckers' names. But you know, like the thinking man sculptor, Rodin. Mothra. I get further the closer I try. These guys were buddies, they worked together. He talks about his friendship with him. And one of his underclassmen, so like imagine you're in grade 12, a grade 9. So you had been in school kind of at the same time, but there was a buffer and a distance between you, but also being at the being at the end of school and being at the beginning of school kind of connect you in a way. Wrote him and was like, dude, I want to be a writer, please, like, please, please, please. How do I be a good writer? Here's some of my writing, tell me what you think, help me be a good writer. And he wrote back, I can't even believe, he wrote back, Dear Sir, your letter reached me only a few days ago. I want to thank you for the great and kind trust it conveys. I had to reread that several times. I want to thank you for the great and kind trust it conveys. The words great and kind trust it conveys was such an abstract, we don't usually make nice things immense. Once something nice becomes immense, it becomes exuberant and effervescent and explosive. You don't look at fireworks and go,
Oh, that's nice.
you go, Gah! That's amazing! It's like the largeness destroys the delicacy. And yet somehow, in these simple words that we've all used throughout our entire lives, he is able to create a vast sense of gentle kindness. In the first sentence, it literally blew my mind. I want to thank you for the great and kind trust it conveys. It is a generous, huge. I love it. Effervescent, that word's in the bio. It's one of my favorite words. I love it. Great, strong opening. Yes. Also just an absolute fucking great way of being like, thanks for taking the time to write to me, baby. I cannot say anything about the form of your verses. Here he's like, okay, so you sent me your work. This is so sweet. I cannot say anything about the form of your verses, for I find all such critical intent quite uncongenial. He's saying, I'm not going to critique your work because work does not need to be critiqued in this way. It's not even the appropriate way to engage with art, he's saying. Not that he doesn't have perspectives, and he does have perspectives. He does tell him what he thinks. He does give him, I didn't even know it was possible to be able to give somebody constructive feedback in a way that actually feels like you're jerking them off, And then at the end of the jerk-off session, instead of feeling a crushing, terrible shame for what has transpired, you feel a genuine human connection. So, Rainier continues. Nothing could be less conductive to reaching an artwork than critical remarks. And if that just doesn't describe why the internet is getting worse, I don't know what does. Nothing could be less conductive to reaching an artwork than critical remarks. How the fuck are you going to get to a beautiful piece of art, a singular thing that gives numerous people a deep and emotional reaction, if all you do is tear it down, strip it away? How is tearing down or stripping away in any way helped us when we are working towards the goal of making art? You know the Doom song that Gur sings in the first episode of InvaderVie? Yes, he goes, I'm going to sing the Doom song now. Doom, 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 doom. I used to have it as my ringtone. I'm not joking. I was that girl in high school. I imagine that song, every instance of the word doom was replaced with the word goon. Oh my god! Oh my god, are you a genius? Oh my god, are you a genius? Oh, please. Wow. Yes, it works so well. It's just Gur and he says, I'm gonna sing the goon song now. And then it's just him scrolling fast through pictures of me, InvaderVie, singing the goon song. Wow. Oh my god. Do you want to get internet famous really fast? Because that's how you get internet famous really fast. That's a great idea for a meme. You're so smart. Wow. I just did reading the book make you guys you all had the brain cell? I gave you each one brain cell and look what you did with it. Woo! Let's keep going. I love that. Nothing could be less conductive to reaching an artwork than critical remarks. If you can't see the beauty in the artwork that the person has put together in front of you, I'm pretty sure the eye that's beholding is where the issue is. For real. Oh my god, it was the experience of theater school. We would go up on stage and the teachers would be like, you're not doing anything right. And that's very frustrating when you're like, but I memorized all the lines and I went up on the stage and I tried to feel and connect with the text in the way that you taught me, as well as my scene partner to support them in that moment. And now you're telling me that I'm just failing and not doing it without actually being specific or giving any constructive elements to your critique. And you're just like, oh, why are you floundering? The greatest, truly, the greatest vindication of my entire life was in our last year of university. We had professional directors from the city of Toronto come to direct our final shows. Professional directors are I would love to work with the up and coming kids who are about to graduate into the industry of working. They get a nice steady paycheck. It fits into a lot of their schedules, and it also benefits us because we get to work with actual directors in the industry. And we did 3 plays, and I got A+ from all of my directors. All of my directors were A+, loved working with you. Literally loved every minute you were in rehearsal. Often the directors would try to, as the show went on, they're we need to put her in more stuff. We need to put her in more scenes. And so they would just put me in scenes that I didn't even need to be in because they just wanted more of me. It was incredibly gratifying. It felt so wonderful to be able to work with people and actually feel like we were working together. Instead of theater school, which just felt like my teachers being you're so bad. But it wasn't sexy or fun. It was just useless. I think theater can be really fun. I think theater can also be really boring. Like how movies can be fun and boring as well. Moderators, any moderator at all, go ahead and delete that. Love you. Love you guys. Love you, mods. Okay. Getting closer to art, which is, in a way, to be closer to ourselves. It's always simply a matter of more or less fortunate misunderstandings. Everything cannot be so easily grasped and conveyed as we are generally led to believe. Most events are unconveyable, and come to pass in a space that no word has ever penetrated. More unconveyable than all else are artworks. Those mysterious experiences whose lives run alongside ours, which perishes, where theirs endures. I hope that you're able to read this and understand it the way that I do, because I came onto the internet and I said, you owe me $5. Give me $5. I will die one day. But it's possible that that meme will live forever. In a way, it has become a work of art. It has become much larger than just what that moment was or what it represented. It became attached and contextualized to many, many other people and things and times and places, much more than even myself. Making art feels terrifying because you are giving humanity permission to judge you forever, even when you change, even when you grow. And the difficulty is that people don't integrate new information very well. It's called anchoring. The first thing we figure out is usually the thing that we cling to the most. Being able to think of something new, being able to challenge our perceptions, being able to problem solve is challenging, and a lot of us are already challenged enough living paycheck to paycheck. Because I took all your paychecks. I'm sorry I keep taking all your paychecks. I swear I'm spending it on virgin blood and cosmetic surgery to keep myself looking tight and young. Yeah. Oh, Tinkerbell on Patreon. Wowee. It's good, right? She's great. I love it. How old are you? I'm going to be 35 this year. I'm going to be 35 this year. I'm going to get Botox this year. I'm very excited to get my first instance of Botox. So, I was asleep on the... Shogun Rommel, hello. I was asleep on the couch with Stretch. And he was like, oh, V, you're so cute. I was like, why is that? He's like, you sleep like this. And I sleep with my I sleep like I'm anticipating I'm about to get slapped in the face at all times. So I'm going to get Botox between my eyebrows here, so that when I go to sleep at night, I'm not gonna do that in my sleep. I've been getting better because my big brother told me, you guys get this. My big brother has difficulty sleeping, like many of you guys do, like many men do, and he was watching a YouTube video about the professionals who train Marines. And a way that they train Marines is to be able to instantly fall asleep wherever they are. You need to get sleep whenever you can. You need to relax your mind and your body and rejuvenate, give your brain time to go through an association process. The ways that our brains and our bodies and our minds are connected is truly so fucking fascinating, and is the light of my life. I'm excited. I'm very excited at the possibility that I might get my master's in neurobiology, and then I might get a PhD in interpersonal neurobiology one day. I don't love the idea of going back to school. Again, the idea of being trapped in any commitment is terrifying and repulsive to me. But having the agency to be able to take classes in line with my workload ability would be exciting. And then I would oh my god, I love learning about this stuff. The reason that I'm reading Letters to a Young Poet, this beautiful, incredibly written series of letters that have actually transformed the way that I think and I feel, is because I started learning about neurobiology. I love it when I tell you how old I am and then you guys all start saying wildly inappropriate, much smaller numbers, as if this is, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, the only experience that I have when people say, wow, you look 18, is when I was 18, I didn't look like a sexy woman. Because I wasn't a sexy woman at 18. I was literally the youngest woman imaginable. I was not a sexy woman. So this isn't what 18-year-olds look like. And even when I was 25, I was not this good looking when I was 25. I didn't know how to do my hair. I didn't really know how to do my makeup. I didn't really know how to dress myself. I had excellent style. I always had beautiful hair and makeup and those things, but you don't, it takes time to learn how to be good at stuff. Which is why it's great to get older. Yeah, I think the like kindest, and I mean, it's how do you compliment somebody? How do you engage? How do you engage with that? And I wish I had. I don't know. Yeah. I feel like it's just as simple as saying, "You're a real beautiful 34-year-old." Yes, because that sentiment is true at whatever age I was. It also rings true then for your comments of, "You are a really beautiful 18-year-old," or "You are a really beautiful 25-year-old." And then it sort of lends to the authenticity of the future, which is that there's a very real possibility that I will be a very beautiful 50-year-old, and that I will be a very beautiful 60-year-old. We know beautiful 50-year-olds, and we know beautiful 60-year-olds. No take, only throw. See, I mean, the thing about a compliment is that it should be true regardless of environment, but it should be true in the environment, if that makes sense. You got any keys on that, anklet? No, we got rid of the key holding tier on Patreon because nobody was buying it, and I also don't want your stuff. Sorry, I don't want your stuff. Yeah, not gonna lie, saying someone looks 18 says more about that person than whoever they were trying to compliment me on. 18's particularly young. Real 18-year-olds are children in my eyes. Yeah. You look 25 to me. That feels okay. That seems pretty reasonable. Yeah. When I went to that restaurant, the maitre d' thought that I said I was 24, turning 25. He's Greek. He has got an accent. We were in a restaurant. It wasn't like perfectly quiet. And I was like so shocked because I thought he said, "You're 34." And I was like, oh my God, he guessed my age. I was like, whoa, no one's ever like actually guessed my age. That was crazy. So I lit up and I was like, yes, yeah, wow, yes. And then later in the conversation, I realized that he had misheard me. And then I was like, oh, he said 24. I heard 34. It just like 24, 34. It's if your mouth is closed, you can't say. It wasn't like he was saying, "Are you 24 or are you 34?" He's not an old British man. He's an old Greek dude. I was so excited to talk with him though because I love to love. I love to love. I love to love your lovin'. It's lovely to love your lovin'. These are Simpsons quotes, hilariously. I hope you get my references. It's nice to feel connected. And I was watching this anime called Yuri on Ice. It's a great anime. It's about gay figure skaters. I fucking love it. Fucking love Yuri on Ice. And there's only one season, so it's very easy to watch and share with somebody. Like, write us, let's watch Yuri on Ice. Everybody, let's jump on Discord tonight and watch Yuri on Ice. It's a perfect, like, post-Christmas, but still kind of like holiday. Oh, actually, they kind of... Wait, maybe we should have watched it before. I might be forgetting the chronology of these episodes. I digress. In Yuri on Ice, there's two figure skaters who are competing against each other, and both their names are Yuri. One of them is Yuri, like Yuri, the Japanese name, and the other one is Yuri, like the Russian name. He's a Russian Yuri. And so the two Yuris, it's a battle of the Yuris. It's a great TV show. It's so sweet. And they're both ice skating to a song about love. But one of them is Eros, and one of them is Agape. They were ice skating to do different types of love. I love this idea. There's pure selfless love. There is the love of, I would literally sacrifice my life for you because you are so important to me, and I can recognize your value even outside myself. Eros is deep. Oh wait, hold on, sorry. That was Agape. That's like sincere, authentic love. And then Eros is like erotic, passionate love. Eros, erotic. The same, obviously. Erotic love is passionate, it's challenging, it's disruptive. Absolutely. It's the kind of love that does hurt other people's feelings because it's so in your face with its like fervor, right? It's a declaration of love. Two different types of love. And then there's... I have so much difficulty with languages and this kind of stuff, but I'm trying to work on it. Would love to be able to learn Italian and French, I think. I think I'd love to do Italian and French. French because I'm Canadian and there's a lot of French all around here, and you know, being able to speak to the French people in France and Quebec would be handy. And Italian because I love Italian and it makes me feel sexy to say those words out loud. So there's Eros, there's Agape, and then there's Storge. 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 And that's the kind of... I hope I'm not getting this wrong. Sometimes I get them mixed up, so please correct me if I'm wrong. It's like the deep love that you have platonically for your friends. It's the love that you feel, the like deep communal friendship of humanity. Yes. I also find Italian super sexy, but the big problem is that there's like 3 fucking tiny... I'm sorry, have you been to Italy? Because I went to Italy and I was kind of like, I don't really need to go anywhere else after this. I loved Italy. Oh my god, if you are watching me from Italy right now, the chances of you being able to fuck my brains out just skyrocketed. Congratulations. I set foot in Italy and I was like, am I pregnant? Am I Italian all of a sudden? There was this guy who walked up to us and he was like, he started speaking to me in Italian. I was like, I am not Italian. I do not speak Italian. And he was like, you look like you live here. And I was like, no, I'm a tourist. I live in Canada. It felt very flattering. He might have been lying to me. Please let me hold on to this delusion. My life is very small. So I went to Milan with my ex-boyfriend. I loved Milan. Oh, I loved Milan. Wow. Number 1, going from Switzerland to Zurich, where there's no graffiti and everything is pristine, clean, kind of like you're in Disney World, to then Milan. I was like, whoa, that's a lot of graffiti. Milano, baby, Milano. I can't, I'm English. The O is not on the map in English. I know it's Milano. Mulan! Oh, you're a good dog. That's a good dog. Yeah, that's your Matt. So my dog has this, maybe your dog does it too. She has this habit of like rubbing her face and sort of like scratching her claws against the carpet. I call it like carpet swimming. She's like rubbing her face and like scratching her little paws. It's very cute. A lot of dogs do it. It just feels good. They just do it because it feels good. We would all do it too. But when I brought my dog up to Stretch's dad's house, they were like, she can't do that. She's going to hurt the carpet. They're wrong. I've had this carpet and this dog for several years, and the dog has done this continuously to the carpet, and that it has not damaged the carpet at all. Yeah, it's not gonna hurt the carpet, but they didn't like it, so every time she did it, they stopped her from doing it, and I was like, that's not really a solution or logical, so I'm gonna look for a logical solution because these men seem a little bit lost. I guess they were also basking in the glory of their new invention, a community center / library / coffee shop / yoga studio. So what I did is I went into my linen closet, I grabbed a bath mat, I put the bath mat down, and every time my dog lays on the bath mat or touches the bath mat now, I tell her, good girl, go to your bath mat, go to your mat, right here. Good girl, good girl. So I'm gonna start trying to slowly give her, yeah, the like happy, satisfying feeling of like, oh, this is where I rub my face. And then it'll be hopefully easier that when I take her places to visit, I can just put down the mat and be like, this is Bella's mat. This is where she's gonna like do all of her Bella things. It's gonna be great. You're Bella! Yeah, you, I'm talking about you. You're a good girl, you want a treat? Come here, come on up. The good thing about this not being the Papasan chair is that there's actually room for the dog to jump up here now. I have treats for you right here. These are actually cat treats, but I don't think the dog cares. Up you go. You are such a good dog. You guys, honestly, she's the best thing I've ever had in my entire life. Sorry, I'm gonna cross this leg so you can see this cellulite instead of the inner thigh cellulite. I know, I'm sorry. I'm so picky about what I show you. Oh, she's great. Okay, so we're gonna show them all the beautiful things that you're able to do when you're motivated by food. You know the first one. You guys, I don't even have to say it. She knows. Ready? Bow. That's right. It's paw. That's the first one. I put my hand out like that. That means paw. Are you ready for the next one? This one's great. If I put my hand out like this, that's right. That means touch. That means touch, and we touch with our nose. Good girl. And now we know the next one. Next hand gesture. That's right. Lay down. That was a big 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 lay down. Oh, you're so silly. I think that's kind of it. I think that's basically it. Yeah. I don't know if we have anything else. She knows stay. She does know stay. I'm very grateful that she knows stay, obviously. P.S. You have amazing... Oh, sorry. That dog treat smell is not nice in the hand or near my face or mouth. You're a very good dog. You're a very good dog. You need a haircut, though. She's very... Unfortunately, this is all matted underneath. And I didn't do a good job of brushing her over the holiday. Guys, I had a stressful holiday season. Christmas was very beautiful and sweet and fun. And then New Year's Day was a little bit stressful. And so I haven't really, felt like myself, I guess. Even today, I as I was getting ready for stream, I was, really relieved that I got to be InvaderVie for a few hours. And I didn't have to, actually be real V for a few hours. Because, the real world is scary and unpredictable. Has she mastered pushing the buttons yet? Yes. Yes, but I also realized that I don't need her to push buttons to understand her. I know exactly what she's saying all the time. She talks to other people. We'll be on the street and people will be like, what a beautiful dog. And I'll be like, she's actually a bath mat that came to life one day. And then we'll laugh and they'll look at her and then she'll go, bark, 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 bark. 1, 2, 3, 4. In this very 1, 2, 3, 4 on beat. She's using her voice to repeat a phrase consistently with strangers and in time with the conversation that I'm having. I'm just like, yeah, and now she knows that I'm talking. She's like, yeah, this is what we do. Do you remember? And we talk to people and then people get so delighted. They fucking love it. And they're like, your dog is talking to me. She's like a little person. It's actually really interesting. I personify, anthropomorphize, whatever you want to say. I treat my dog like a person. I treat my dog like a literal fucking person. And in many ways, to me, she is a very little, person. She's not a human person, but, she's a little animal person. She's got thoughts and feelings. She has dreams. I've watched her dream. And so, when I was home with Stretch and his family over Christmas, his dad was like, you really treat your dog like another, member of the family and not like a dog. I don't really treat my dog like a dog. My dog's allowed on my bed. My dog's allowed on my couch. My dog's, not allowed to jump up anywhere near the dining room table or the kitchen table, but she will, push herself into those situations to try to test it out because she also has the ability to dream and want more, including what is beyond what she's allowed. She's a little person. And then I also realized that when I was growing up, our dogs, our literal pet dogs growing up, felt more human than our own father. Because our dad just let the dishes pile up in the sink. Our dad let the house get full of recycling and bits and pieces of garbage that will be used in future projects, I swear, but those future projects never come to fruition. It's a very, very terrible household to try to grow up in. But we had a dog and we had cats at that house as well. Obviously, kind of a nightmare in a messy house, but the dogs and the cats, the animals, were consistent. They responded to kindness with kindness. They were better than my dad was at raising us, for real. And animals are more consistent than people are, unfortunately. People can lie to you. People can say, I love you, and then hurt you. But like, dogs, horses, cats, a cat's gonna hiss at you and be like, I fucking hate you, and I love you. Look at her, just fucking, she's not doing, she's just a puppy. She's just a puppy with her face in my butt, because it actually is the happiest place in the world. Yes, it is the happiest place in the world. You're a stinky binky baby. I'm sorry, I love my dog so much. Oh, man. So all this is to say, I love animals because of their consistency. I love animals because of their consistency. I love my simps because of their consistency. I love my viewers because of their consistency. I think I feel truly blessed, privileged, and rewarded for the ability to take 2 weeks off streaming and then come back and still have like a few hundred people watching me. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you guys being here. I'm excited for us to do outrageously horny shenanigans together in our minds this year. Oh, yeah. Hello. Hello, my pooch. Hello, my pooch-a-dooch. I would love... Which pillow? Maybe just this one. Maybe just the big Duff Beer pillow. Oh, speaking of Sims Queen, what do I owe you for the holiday break? Oh, I'll be generous and I'll just say 5 gifted subs. Yes, I feel like nobody has any money. And you all had no money before. And I took it all. And the only way you're going to be able to get money is if I leave you with a little bit to like rub together to survive. So how about 5 gifted subs? I'll be generous. What a nice tongue. Yo, this dog is great. Did you have a nice New Year's? I did not have a nice New Year's. No. Yeah, I had a really bad New Year's. I got dumped on New Year's. That's right. It felt really out of left field because on Christmas Day, he gave me a couple's spa retreat, which seemed to say, I love you, you can trust that you can relax with me, and I look forward to doing that with you in the future. And then he dumped me on New Year's Day over the phone. It gave me whiplash. It was unexpected, but then the more I thought about it, was it unexpected? I mean, this guy gave me the reason why he dumped me, and it was this. V, I can't be in a relationship with you because I live with my brother and another roommate, and we have decided to remove our kneecaps and sew our mouths onto each other's anuses and live as a horrible abomination of humanity, a circular human centipede. And how do you argue with that? Like, it's New Year's Day, I'm hungover as all fucking get out. How do you argue with him? How do you say no? Don't sew your mouth onto your roommate's asshole and allow your brother to sew his mouth onto your asshole and survive, thrive, and perpetuate each other's bullshit. Don't do it. Don't do that. That sounds great. How would anyone? Yes, exactly. And then I would obviously be getting in the way of the Human Centipede Community Center for Bullshit Absorption. And that's not, you guys, I'm not a monster. I'm not a monster. I'm not going to prevent humanity from this great leap forward. I crashed chat. You guys, the whole chat just reloaded. Are you guys okay? Hello. Just guys being dudes. I think also maybe the maitre d' from the restaurant that I went to found Stretch and literally threatened his life. I don't believe that that is impossible. When I went back to the restaurant, I looked at the maitre d' and I was like, how was your New Year's? And he was like, oh, it was great. We thought about you. Like, your table was actually open. We maybe, like, thought you would show up. And I said to the maitre d', I can't believe that you found the guy that I was dating and threatened his life unless he broke up with me, because that's the only logical explanation as to why he did it out of nowhere on New Year's Day. And the maitre d' is just like, he died laughing. He thought it was so funny because he also was like, this is awesome. Like, can you imagine you're at work? I walk in and I'm like, hi, I have a boyfriend. I'm just here for dinner. The next week I come in, I go, my boyfriend dumped me out of nowhere. I guess I'm here because I wanted to see you again. This guy, no wonder this guy texted me, right? Like, that's why I'm not mad that he texted me. Like, I really like drawing him into my fucking web of incomprehensible events. It's very, you guys, Christmas is an incredibly stressful time of year. I'm not surprised that he dumped me right after Christmas, but I am very surprised that he invited me home to celebrate with his family, tried to initiate sex with me in his father's house, and then texted me afterwards saying, it was wonderful to celebrate Christmas with you, darling. I love you, V. And then we didn't talk for a few days because I think he went into like a dissociative state, because then when I did talk to him, I was like, oh, you seem like you're shell-shocked from something that's been happening outside of our relationship. I was like, oh man, I'm worried that you're gonna cancel on me for New Year's. And then he at 6 p.m. said, oh yeah, I'm canceling you on for New Year's. So I lit candles in my house. I put on music. I poured myself a drink. I called all my friends. I didn't go out to the restaurant. I just like sat with myself and thought, like, pardon my overuse of the word like, I'm reeling from this. I can't believe this is my life. This sounds like a bad season finale of a terrible teenage drama. I feel very frustrated that I put so much time and energy and effort over the past 12 months into trying to build a relationship with somebody who is just going to pull a like OC style ending to the relationship. But it also makes perfect sense because Stretch often talked about how he loved the vibe of his house so much because it was just like a sitcom. And I was like, I remember feeling like that when I was in university. Feeling well into your 30s. The reality is, a sitcom about a bunch of single 30-year-olds living together in a house doesn't have the same sort of like fun pizzazz as it used to. Now when you have like 3 30-year-olds living all together in a house, perpetuating each other's stagnation, getting into screaming matches, having paranoid delusions that they're trying to steal from each other, and then avoiding any sort of like responsibility for these negative feelings whatsoever. It's like, that's definitely not a sitcom that anyone would want. It literally seems like a horror movie. So yeah, I should have known that he was going to dump me. He couldn't even speak up for me when his roommate attacked me, like verbally. She said something very mean to me. We were standing in his kitchen. This is the very last time I was ever over at their house. We're standing in her kitchen, and we were all going out to a play later. And Stretch had put out wine and cheese and lit candles for us to like have a little before the theater nosh. And his roommate walked out and was like, I didn't know we were having people over. And like, there was Stretch and Red, who are roommates to her. They all 3 of them pay rent and live in that house together. And the only other person other than me was Red's girlfriend, Blue, who was in their quarantine circle during the pandemic. So their roommate, let's call her Angel, because what an angel she is to put up with these men. Ay. She was like, I didn't know we were having people over. She called me people. In the moment, what should have happened is Stretch should have said, Angel, we're not having people over. V is here because we're going out to a play later. Do you want to join us or what? But Stretch didn't. She said that, and he just like looked at the ground and looked away and was like, and to be honest, that's literally what cowards do. That's like, it's like turning your fucking head to, I don't know, seeing somebody being punched out in the street. At the most basic level, we should be able to exist together without attacking one another. And if somebody is unfairly attacked, unprovoked, society should be able, that's why we have, that's why we have teachers in classrooms, as well as guidance counselors in the offices. That's why we have, don't get me started on the police, but that's why we have social workers. That's why we have lawyers and judges, because we believe in the cohesive ability for us to work together to create a safe space. But all of that will crumble and fall down if you're too much of a fucking coward to look your own roommate in the eye and say, please don't call V people. That's not a nice way to exist. I think it spoke volumes, though, about how she viewed me, which, in a flattering way, was like, do you actually think I have, like, hundreds of people following me around at any given moment? Or do I just give you that fucking aura? Because it's just me standing here, sweetheart. I don't got a mouse in my pocket. I am so very mad. Hi, I love your hair. You need to change your username to I'm so very in love with your hair. Sorry, I didn't make you make that choice, but I will hold you accountable to your choices. Just like I should have held Stretch accountable to his choice. If you invite somebody over to your house and your roommate says a snarky, mean comment to the person you invited over and you do not defend them, you're a monster. You have literally lured somebody into a dangerous situation with promises of safety, and then you abandoned them when they were attacked by somebody else. It has been incredibly eye-opening to realize what a pathetic coward Stretch actually is. He has these grand dreams, which I thought were manifestations of his imagination. But now I'm kind of realizing that, the spa gift card on Christmas Day, that's a delusion. That was a delusion. It wasn't an idea that he had that he wanted to bring to fruition. It was a delusion that he had where he was a supportive, kind, courageous partner to me. But he's not. He's not. It is always a blessing when trash takes itself out. So, although I don't like being dumped, I am very grateful that I don't have to deal with somebody else's nonsense. And I did have to deal with a lot of his nonsense because he avoided dealing with his own nonsense. And he decided to live in a human centipede that was a perfect circle. I guess you still have the spa day. Nope. No, the Christmas gift that he gave me was just a card that he printed out. He didn't actually give me the spa, no. He also still has like a copy of one of my books. Yeah, I would actually love my stuff back from him. I don't even think he's thought about that. The day that he dumped me, I took everything from my house that reminded me of him, literally a tiny little bag of basically trash, and I sent it back over to his house in an Uber. I told the Uber driver, you can just dump this near the front door. You don't even need to knock or tell anyone. Just send me a picture of it. Moderators, do you want to see the picture of the sad little bag of trash on his doorstep? It made me feel much better to visualize, to literally have a visual image of me getting rid of the like promises that he made. Oh my god. It feels so fucking scummy. What was I thinking? Hello, my love. Balls so goofy. Okay. One last break. One more break while you absorb all of this information. It's been a crazy past few days, my friends. A crazy past few days. Hello, I'm back. I feel off kilter because I'm getting. I took pictures of myself, and isn't it so strange when you take a great photo of yourself? It really, I don't know. I had this like idea for this outfit. I had this idea for this hair. I had this idea for this stream. And although I like take the same photos all the time, obviously, I guess I still have difficulty, even now, 5 years into being a streamer, I still have difficulty visualizing myself being so happy in this moment when I'm like, I've been on stream for a few hours and I don't know, sometimes people say weird things, sometimes you feel disconnected from others, but also I don't know I don't know why, but for whatever reason today everybody's been really cool. And like kind of better than really cool. Everyone's been like super nice and thoughtful. I feel like everyone's like been listening to me. I don't want to put my words in your mouth, but I feel like you guys have been actually hearing me and responding to me, instead of sometimes what happens on stream is that I'm sitting here yammering away, and chat is yammering away, and of course this dissonance is a literal fucking nightmare to behold. So there's been bad streams. Yes. I think that's why I just like the word yapping so much, because I'm like, yammering's right there and it's more satisfying to say. And to be honest, it's technically more accurate. It's objectively more accurate. I love to yammer. I love a good yammer. I find it therapeutic. Subservient. You owe me so many subs because my desire to yammer, I think, makes me an excellent rapper. There's a song called Charge It by Enny, E-N-N-Y, all capitals. I love it. She sings, book a flight red light in the hopes that I might find peace. Because my mother didn't raise a fool, but I do act one on the occasional. But I'm trying to stay afloat like a sailor do, and I'm fighting for my life like I'm Sailor Moon. Who told you to play yourself? You might just run it back. There's 1,000 ways to counter this, and yet I find I'm back. Plans to keep me wrapped around you like a single piece of thread. Clearly something's disconnected in my head. These words hit me like a ripple in time. I love this song. I put this song on a playlist that I called like Stretch and V. I titled it Stretch and V, but actually I titled it something more intimate. Stretch and I have like tons of nicknames. We're both like nickname people, and both of our names sadly fit together really wonderfully in a bunch of different ways. So on Halloween night, I was so drunk, I was like sitting in my bikini at the sex club, and I'm there with him, and I'm just like, I'm brimming with endorphins. I'm so happy. It's literally my happiest dream come true. I'm at the sex club with Stretch, and it's Halloween, and we truly felt like the most popular couple there. It is such a beautiful like boom to your ego. It really is, more than streaming is, to be honest. It was great. I loved it. And I told him that night, I was like, I have these secret nicknames for us. And he was like, I love that. That's beautiful. And we would use our little secret nicknames for each other. And I titled this playlist, Our Secret Nicknames, Stretch and V. He never clicked on the link. He never clicked on the link. In the dissociated, head-spinning experience of being dumped by him over the phone, I was like, get rid of anything that reminds you of him. Delete that playlist. And I clicked on... And to be fair, you guys, honestly, I have been listening to this playlist non-fucking stop. I really like it. Do you guys want it? I'll share... You know what? 100 gifted subs. I'll make the playlist public. You can have my playlist. You can find out my secret nickname. Unless you can already see my Spotify, in which case you can just go find it for free. You don't owe me anything. But it's there. It's there. It's great. Howdy, my friends. He never clicked on the link. Never clicked on the link. He never even clicked on the link. I've been like listening to these love songs for, I don't know, like weeks, whatever. Who fucking knows? Months. And he never even clicked on the link. Of course this guy was gonna dump my ass. Of course this guy was gonna dump my ass. I've been delusional for the past 12 months, thinking that we were building a relationship. I was wrong. I was wrong. But then also he was lying to my face a lot, which it's difficult. It's difficult to tell somebody that they're lying to their face when it sounds like they're just saying what they want to say. Woof. I'm listening, but my eyes are working harder. Don't listen to anything I have to say. We should just listen to the words of Rainy. Oh, Rainies from fucking that's. I was like, why does that name want to pop out more than Rainier? And Rainier is from Attack on Titan, which this guy does not feel akin to. But Rainies is a very smart lady from House of the Dragon. Piggy for thighs, you are all, each and every one of you is. Didn't Toady earlier say, how can I support you? And I said 5 gifted subs, and then he just disappeared. You guys, the bar is truly in fucking hell with these viewers. Oh my gosh. Okay, so going back to Rainier's first letter to, who was he writing to? No, it wasn't him. He was writing to, isn't that kind of bad? I'm like, who was the original like person who wanted it? And I'm like, it doesn't really matter. It's not about him right now. No, Toady gifted. Hey, I sent the 5 subs. You just ignored it. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'm a monster. I didn't even realize you did. I'm so sorry. Also, it's because the bits are up. I don't even have the leaderboard up. Hello, look it, I would have been able to see it right there. It's right there on the leaderboard. I'm so sorry, I had the bits leaderboard up. That is completely my fault. Toady, I'm refunding you those 5 gifted subs. Or I'm charging you another 5? What do you think you enjoy the most? Me hurting you and taking your money, or me being kind to you and refunding your money? Because I'm open to both. Okay. Rainier's saying, my dude, this guy's written him being like, bro, are my verses fire? And Rainier has responded, kid, asking for water is not going to make your verses more fire. You know what I mean? Basically, that's what he's saying. Having begun in this vein, he writes, all I can now add is that though your verses lack individual character, they do perhaps contain the quiet and hidden stirrings of something personal. Oh, imagine the ability to be personal in your art. A feat of impossibility, vulnerable personality and objectivity. Perish the thought. I feel this most clearly in the last poem, My Soul. There, an individual note seeks expression and melody. And the beautiful poem oh, you said this earlier in chat. To Leopardi? Somebody said this in chat earlier, to Leopardi in chat. I swear to God I saw those words. But then again, I swear to God Toady didn't give me those 5 subs, and he did, so like, my memory is Swiss cheese. The last poem, To Leopardi, may contain the seed of some kind of relationship with great and solitary individual. Nevertheless, the poems, I'm skipping that sentence because I don't entirely understand what he's saying, and I'm gonna trust that you don't either. Hey, Piggy for thighs, that's a T3, but I feel like it's a little bit rude of you to indulge yourself without giving back to the community. You need to gift $25 worth of subs now. Just give me Stretch's debt for funding a spa day. You know what? I do deserve a good spa day. I do deserve a good spa day. Nevertheless, the poems are not yet anything in themselves. They are not independent. Even the last one and the one to Leopardi. Your kind accompanying letter does not fail to explain several shortcomings that I felt reading your verses, though I could not identify them by name. Good job, Pig. I love that he's able to say, you told me about your shortcomings before I was even able to put my finger on them from reading your work. Is what he's saying that the seeds of doubt are apparent even in the production? Or is it a self-fulfilling prophecy that he seeded the doubt in the letter and then, upon reading the works, was nourished on the sort of like bitter sunlight? Oh my God. You guys are you owe me a lot more money for this. I feel like this is like, you owe me tuition. It's a university level analysis of some really beautiful writing. Some like really like, I read this the first night that I went out by myself for dinner. And I felt very silly because I was sitting, I forgot my highlighter. I was so mad at myself. Forgot my highlighter. I was sitting in this restaurant and I was like, holy fucking God. This man has written, I didn't know that you could like weave magic into words in this way. It really, I feel like I read somewhere at some point that it's like every book can be a grimoire. Every book can be a spell book if you know how to read it like one. And oh my God, it's like, this is magic. This is magic. I'm gonna skip ahead because last night I went and I sat down in the same restaurant again to sort of work on my own fear of being alone, my own like inhibition. Let's be honest, I have a closet full of beautiful dresses. I deserve to go out to fancy dinners all the time, but I have kind of been waiting around for guys to take me out to fancy dinners because, I don't know, I had this idea that I couldn't just take myself out. Not even close to the truth. I can just take myself out wearing all of my beautiful dresses, enjoy myself, and be like, cool, night well spent. That independence is serving me really well because the guy I was sort of seeing last year, honestly, he was more of a friend. My friends with benefits, let's be real. My friends with benefits dumped me on New Year's Day. But I opened this book as I sat down to dinner and I started reading and had the very magical experience of feeling like he wrote this for me. Like the ripple of this incomprehensible betrayal hit me here in this time. And like ripples in a pond spreading out over the surface, time is non-linear for many experiences. The seeds and the waves and the pulses move forward and backwards and side to side through time. And maybe as he was writing this, he was trying to comfort this guy who was looking for clarity in chaos. But also maybe he had this crazy idea that in the future there would be a woman dressed sexily reading his words and connecting them to some poor man who is just trying to pump a load into the bottom of his desk without his manager noticing. I wonder if he had that insane thought and was like, weird, where did that come from? And the reality is, it's because he saw into this incomprehensible moment. This impossible to, this is happening once, guys. I don't think a lot of other e-girls have whipped out Rainier Maria Rilke and been like, maybe Miss Tricky. Literally the only other e-girl I could think of doing it would be maybe Miss Tricky. Yeah. So, I love this. I posted it on my Instagram story. If you, like me, have difficulty retaining spoken information, I don't always retain everything you guys say to me, which is why I like reading your comments. It's a lot easier to hear you when I can just read your comments. Rainier wrote, fundamentally and precisely in the deepest and most important things, we are absolutely alone. And in order for one person to advise, let alone help, someone else, a great deal must happen. A great deal must be accomplished. An entire constellation of things must come into alignment for there to be a single chance of success. I love everything about this. I love the implication that even the tiniest successes, whether they're yours or mine or your neighbor's or, I don't know, a gold medal Olympicist. Can't even speak, pardon me. That yes, in the most fundamental and in the most important ways, we do these things alone. You win that gold medal by yourself, you get yourself out of bed. But those are successes, and every success can be measured in all of the tiny parts that fell into place to create that success. Fundamentally and precisely, in the deepest and most important things, we are absolutely alone. And in order for one person to advise, let alone help someone else, a great deal must happen. A great deal must be accomplished. An entire constellation of things must come into alignment for there to be a single chance of success. It feels terrible because it's like trying to help somebody else is kind of impossible, but also every time we help ourselves, every time we touch success, we can recognize the constellation of beautiful things falling into place and see that, you know what, I might not have been able to help them, but by helping myself, maybe I'll help somebody else. Yeah, look at the time, we're all done. Oh God, can you imagine having the feeling that you want to keep streaming? Not I, said the Twitch streamer who was exhausted and gorgeous. Goodbye, losers. If you're lucky, I'll show up tomorrow. If you're really unlucky, like if you're the most unlucky idiot on the planet, if you're the stupidest, most pathetic loser you could ever imagine, I'm also gonna show up, and I'm gonna do it in a tight black shiny outfit, and I'm gonna take all your fucking money. But who knows what tomorrow will bring? Who knows? Not I. No, I can't know that. Nor can you. You know, you really can't. Have a good rest of your day, my dears. Please give Sweet Anita all my love. Tell her that I think she's the most beautiful, incredible woman I've ever seen. Are these bunnies? Bunnies! Whoa, bunnies. Yo, bunnies. Bunnies in a dentist's office? You know you'd go. Yeah. Have a good one, everyone. Thank you for showing up today. I'll see you tomorrow.